Today, I'm going to share with you why indecision kills and how we can learn how to make better decisions. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Riley, and today we're going to talk, like I say, all about how indecision is the biggest killer. One of my mentors like to say that indecision kills. It kills opportunity, it kills momentum, it kills desire, it kills hopes and dreams. When we're indecisive, that's when we miss that window of opportunity that we've been wanting so badly. And so to kick off today's lesson, I'm going to tell you a story about the indecisive donkey. There was a donkey that was starving. This donkey was looking up at two fruit trees next to each other. And on the left side, he could see an apple. And on the right side, he could see a pear. He looked at the apple, then he looked at the pear, then he looked at the pear, then he looked back at the apple, and then back at the pear, then back at the apple. What if the pear was better than the apple? What if the apple was better than the pear? What if he didn't like apples? What if he didn't like pears? What would fill him up more? Was there another option laying around somewhere that this donkey did not see? Where would he get his next meal after he ate the apple or the pear? Who owned the trees? Could he even eat from them? Then the donkey collapsed and starved to death. Why? Because he couldn't make a damn decision. He died of starvation. He could not decide between, hey, should I eat the apple or should I eat the pear? But in the end, it's not that he was indecisive. In fact, that donkey, he made a decision. Whether that decision was based on procrastination or trying to be perfect, as we've talked about in other videos, a decision was in fact made. And that decision of being indecisive actually cost the donkey his life. So I want to ask my friend, what does that story bring up for you? Because as I hear about that, I think about all the times in my life, even in certain situations in my life at this very moment, where I'm looking at, should I take the apple or should I take the pear? When in reality, who gives a shit? Because either way, if we just make a decision, if I just make a decision, I'm not going to be that starving donkey who starves to death. I'm going to be the one getting fed, and I know you could as well. So I want to quickly share a quote from Napoleon Hill. He said, "The worst of all human ailments," meaning like human issues, "is indecision." Okay? So the reason why is because when we are indecisive, we basically tie up ourselves, all of our creative energy, all of our power. We give our power away basically to the thing that we're not making a decision over. For me, that's shown up in so many ways. Maybe it was trying to decide whether to break up with my ex, or currently, how should I build my community of people, or whatever, right? And there's all these simple things that happen in our life that we get all in our head about, and I've gotten all in my head about, that have caused me to kick the can down the road a little too far, or just kind of get myself tripped up, when in reality, had I just decided, I would have saved myself a lot of emotional pain back then from, my breakup, or in the current moment, probably would have put myself in a better position to be a better leader and even financially more well off had I just made a decision. And so I'm wondering, in your life, where are you being indecisive right now? David Story said, "The confidence of ignorance will always come the indecision of knowledge." It's not always about needing to know more or trying to figure everything out, but just simply making a decision and sticking with it and trusting ourselves enough to follow through, to actually take the actions that the decision, that follow up that decision that we've made, if that makes sense. And Theodore Roosevelt said, "In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing, and the worst thing that you could do is nothing." Again, indecision kills. And so I want to quickly talk about, how do we make good decisions? How do we get ourselves out of indecision? I think the first thing goes back to what I said in another video about perfectionism, is just trying not to be perfect, just trying to take action, trying to measure ourselves more by the progress and the actions that we're taking and the progress that we're making, rather than trying to make whatever we're doing perfect or trying to get it perfect. Because in reality, big picture, if it doesn't matter in 5 years, it probably doesn't matter right now as much as we're making it out to be. And so I heard of this really powerful concept that people like Warren Buffett and other powerful businessmen and leaders like Warren Buffett, use to make their decisions. And it's called second order thinking. And so you're probably thinking to yourself, why should I give a shit? Okay, here's why. Chances are that you can definitely live a happier life, as have I, and has so many other people that have implemented this have, because when you use this, you're using critical thinking to make decisions rather than making decisions on emotion. And for us indecisive people, we're also not feeling like we made a rash decision or potentially the wrong decision because we thought through it before we made the decision. And so second order thinking, again, is used by people like Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, a lot of these prolific people that people look up to for business or as, these thought leaders. And here's how it works. A second order decision is when you take a decision and you break down the layers of what that decision will lead to after the fact. So an example would be, hey, if I eat a cheeseburger, first order thinking is, well, I'm not going to be hungry, right? Pretty cool. Second order thinking would be, okay, I might not be hungry, but if I were to do that often enough, I may gain a little bit of weight. I might feel kind of sleepy and shitty because a hamburger is a pretty heavy meal, and I'll probably be unproductive after I eat it. So that's second order. First order is like, look, I'm not going to be hungry. That's how most people think. They think of instant gratification, immediate result, versus what could happen with that decision long term. So we look at eating a burger. Well, the first order is I wouldn't be hungry. Second order is, well, I might gain a few pounds of weight if I do this often enough. What we're not thinking, though, is that that might cost us money in the future for extra clothes. If we feel sleepy after eating that burger, it might hold us back from finishing that project. And if we're unproductive, then we're probably not going to feel like showing up in our relationship later or with our family, right? So that's third order thinking. First order thinking, again, is, well, I ate the burger. Second order is, well, I might gain some weight. I might feel a little sleepy, might be a little unproductive. Third order is, shit, I might gain weight if I do that. I might feel like shit. I might not make the progress I want to make. I might not show up how I want to. Fourth order thinking is, well, hell, if I end up getting fat, then I'm going to have health problems long term, and I'll have extra expenses from the health problems and the bigger clothes. And if I get sleepy because I'm eating shitty food all the time, I'm probably going to abandon my goals and dreams. And if I have an unproductive evening and then I end up not showing up in my relationship or with my family, hell, maybe my spouse will divorce me or my kids will hate me, right? So, I mean, that's pretty abstract. But the thing is by thinking through second, third, and fourth order thinking, we can help ourselves to feel more secure and certain in the decision we're making. And also it helps us to not make poor decisions of like, fuck it, it doesn't matter. But then in reality, it could. Obviously, one-off times. I'm not saying don't eat a cheeseburger. I love a cheeseburger. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't occasionally be a degenerate. I love being a degenerate from time to time. More so, think through how your decisions can affect you long-term and how they could affect different areas of your life based on what you choose. But above all else, just make a damn decision, because if you deliberate too much, if you get caught in the weeds about how it needs to look, or you overanalyze to the point where you're just kind of sitting in your own muck, you would have been better off just eating a damn cheeseburger and getting fat, to be honest, versus holding yourself back by overanalyzing, because at least when we're making decisions, that means we're most likely taking action, and it's always easier to steer a boat that's moving than one that's, I guess, sitting still in the water. You can't really move that boat. That's probably a shitty analogy, but I hope you get what I'm saying. So I want to know down below, where are you being indecisive in your life right now? What is a decision that you are committed to making, let's say by the end of this week after seeing this video? And let me know if you guys like these style of videos where I tell a little bit of stories, a little bit about my personal experience, and end with some advice. Until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.